When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud.
Doc in the box with Sister QueenA B in the hizzle.
I didn't hear no music.
You didn't hear no music?
Mm-mm.
I'm telling you. Look,
I saw you jive. I saw you jamming, but I was not.
All right.
I didn't want to say nothing because I always got a soundtrack. So
look, all you gotta do is listen to Queen's favorite opening lines, y'all. The QueenA B's favorite opening lines every week on the beginning of the actual episode, and she comes in with style, with grace, with all those type of things. You know what I mean? So look, family, peace and power. Dr. DAW back with you in the box with Sister QueenA B. If you back up a little bit, Sister Queen, I'm hearing myself back. So look, family, we have a show today. We have a flow today. We want to talk to you. Join us. Let's have this conversation. Family. The show is Why the Dems Lost. Fear tactics, no substance. Let's talk about it. I mean, you may agree, you may disagree. I don't know where this is going to go. But I do think that we want to make this space a safe space, a healing space, a brave space, as people say, so that we can talk about it. Sister Queen, talk to the people.
What's up, family? I want to say greetings from the South Carolina studios. I'm back in the Chuck. I'm excited. I was in Baltimore. I voted, and I woke up the next morning to the president I knew, Papa Trumpy. And
was waiting on him.
Yeah, I was waiting on him. I knew. I told you. I said they're setting it up for him, and that's exactly what happened. And
oh, okay.
I just think that this is a good conversation. I know a lot of people are disappointed. A lot of people. I've heard a lot of ira at certain groups, and people like people didn't vote. I'm going to tell you guys also about my experience. I just felt very disenfranchised with voting. But anyway, so we got a lot to talk about tonight. The Dems, they lost. The Green Party lost. The Independent Parties lost. Everybody lost, damn it. So we got the Repubbies. So we got to roll with that. But listen, Black folks, let me make y'all understand. That was my last point. The Repubbies. Yeah, we got the Repubbies. But just understand that we're going to be all right. We have been through hell.
Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen, don't calm the people's nerves at the beginning of the show.
Well, they gotta get it.
We gotta go through some roller coasters before. We gotta go through the roller coaster first. We gotta let the people talk. Let the people express their. See, this is a therapeutic show.
JT said, "See, it's my papa."
Look. We can't we gotta listen to the feelings at least, right? We gotta listen to the emotions. Like it's kind of like when you kind of like that husband to tell a wife, it's going, like don't want to listen to their emotions. You know what I mean? Like let the people express their feelings, Queen.
That's right, JT. Come on here. He said he ain't my papa. He don't like Trumpy. He mad. Brooklyn for Kamala. Ha!
Oh man. I mean, the thing is, I'm going to be honest, so Sister Queen, this campaign, when I look back on it, it is despicable. When I look at it, it was despicable. And guess what? Much of what I was talking about up until this point, I'm hearing people now say it as I was articulating it. You know, and guess what? What I articulate, this is a battle of the sexes. And people are actually calling it that now, the battle of the sexes. And
I don't care if it was a midget with 2 toes. Trump was getting in. We want to find an excuse for this crazy system. Trump was getting in.
No, but that doesn't deny that it was a battle of the sexes. See what happened is this. What happens is there has been a propaganda campaign warred upon us to have men and women fighting one another. And what some people said, the men won.
Is that right?
Yeah, they said the men won. And they're not talking about black men because black men don't count as men.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? They're not even talking about
to me. But the black men don't count. Yeah, to me.
No, because men aren't men. You gotta understand. There's always you gotta put what is it called? You gotta say black before men. English is not my thing.
You're so right though, because if you say men, then people automatically think of white men. It gotta be black men, Spanish men. Yeah, we default to white. You know, this is a default setting on our brains.
Yeah. So when they say men alone, even Michelle Obama, when she said men, she she really was still speaking to the brothers. She just didn't want to get in trouble like her husband got in trouble. I'm speaking to the brothers. How he said the brothers.
Oh gosh, please.
But anyway, what I do want to say is that a lot of people are afraid.
Afraid of
and you say afraid of what?
Afraid of what? When in this country, this is what I would like to know. When in this country we weren't inundated with oppression, with white male patriarchy, with idiocy, with the amount of the system collaborating to do exactly what it wants. This is what we've been in, people. We've been 10 toes down in this for years, and you act like it's gotten better. You're so comfortable in this belly. You think that now you're the stomach. You're not. You're still the guest, and they're going to always show you you're the guest. So now we see that it doesn't matter who's represented. Whoever them want, them get. And they were setting up. They've done policy. They've given Trump. The U.S. Supreme Court has given him full powers, and this is intentional. I always thought that. And we didn't talk about they didn't go to college. You got to go to college, the electoral college.
But I think that when you ask what them afraid of in your Jamaican, South Carolina, and whatever accent you got going on, New Jersey, New York, Baltimore, and whatever one at the moment. When you say that them Dems, let's talk about that. Let's talk about them Dems. Let's talk about Michelle again. Sister Michelle Obama, if you weren't afraid before she hit that stage, you were afraid once she left it. She laid it down and how you should be afraid. The Democrats and also the Republicans, they both had fear-based campaigns. So it's only right or only expected that people are going to be afraid because they said everything about this man. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I want to call him a man, but they said everything about Trump. You know what I mean? I would just call him Trump. You dig? So, you gotta look, and then the talking points, you gotta respect the office. Who told you I gotta respect the office?
That's what I want to know. Kill me. Who in office?
He
didn't even respect
you gotta respect
the office.
That's how you keep people in place. That's how you keep people in place.
He's a felon. He didn't even respect the office. Are you kidding me?
So now, all of a sudden, you want to come here and tell me how this man is Hitler. You want to tell me how this man has done so many things and is a felon, and all of a sudden you can transition peacefully, as you say, and you should be protesting right now. Like, if you really thought he was a felon, you should be protesting right now. And not saying how a democracy should be, whatever the thing is they're playing with these passive aggressive techniques. You know what I mean? Like, well, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie about my girl Kamala. The best speech she ever gave was that speech and conceding. I am not gonna lie. She look, she knocked that one out the park. I cannot lie. The whole campaign,
she's
she was
conceded
repeating
all
herself,
her
saying
life.
things. Oh,
to stay in this business, you got to concede everything. She knows how to concede, baby.
I felt
You
it.
cannot be
I'm
in
like,
this
look, I want
around this evil and don't concede. So she knows how to do that, baby.
I felt that. I'm almost convinced that I want to fight alongside with her. You hear me? She said, I will concede. She said, I will concede this presidency or what have you, but I'm not conceding the whatever she said, like what I was fighting on. So I'm like, woo! I like, all right, let's get in the grassroots, Kamala. Come on, girl. We looking for you. Come on down here around the way. You know what I mean? Look, some people were saying she can do a lot of things, but somebody was like, maybe she'll teach at Howard. And they said, nah, she's beyond Howard at this point. Nah, she might go to Stanford. You know, you understand? She might not, the Mecca might not be Mecca enough for her. But I don't know. I mean, you never know. I mean, but I was feeling her.
She's not going to teach. That's not what she's going to do. She's going to go play in a policy institute, be executive director, and wait to run again and find another space, either Senate, but it won't be no teaching. No,
you think she'll run again,
baby?
You think she'll run again?
I think that she was thrown into this one. I think she thinks she has more time. That she would be more successful. I don't think it's more time. I think it's timeless, baby. It's not happening for her or anybody who looks like her. But I think that these folks are. She's been at every level. That's what I will give her. She's conceded a lot. She's been state's attorney, attorney general, lawyer for the insane, lawyer for the mental health. She's been a lawyer for everybody. So and then she's been a senator. She's been on every level, federal, state. So I think that politics is her journey. It's where that's her jam. She's an excellent speaker. You must say. She's believable. It's just that she can't.
I wouldn't say she's actually speaking.
When I say she's believable,
she's definitely excellent conceit. I'm sorry. Who you talking about? Kamala.
I think she's a great orator.
Kamala.
Yes, but I also think I said Kamala. I think she's a good orator, a great orator, but if she's also believable. She'll never get the white folks to believe. That's what you need to know. And as long as this country is still 70% European, y'all better wait on, because it's going to be a while. Just keep riding the dragon. You're going to get there one day.
So,
because somebody told me today that people died for this. I said, that's a lie.
So why would they? So why would they be afraid? You ask, and I say, why not? They should be. They should be afraid because Kamala, Obama, everybody been telling you how we gonna die if Trump gets back in office. So now what I'm suggesting is, look, we have to organize now. Hey, brother, facts. We gotta organize, man. You know, because if all that stuff was true that we were saying, we gotta do something. We gotta prepare between now and January the 28th, I believe it is. We gotta do some work. So what we gonna do? I don't think that there's a need to be as afraid, and I don't think the people were being honest. Honestly, I don't think they were being honest. I think they were playing on our emotions big time. They were playing on our emotions big time, because they even know if you trust the American system, the judiciary, what is it, the three, was it the legislative and all those type of things, right? Like if you trust those three, the big three, then and it's checks and balances and all these type of things. Why you speak so highly of these things, but now when you're running for presidency, you're saying those things. You're saying those things don't matter. Logic says, well, organized, most will be upset and scared, and next round they will give us a dim, maybe her. Yeah, well, look, honestly, I might have to bite my tongue in a few years. You and Sister Queen B probably agree on that. But
we'll organize. Most will organize. Most will be upset and scared. And next round they will give us a dim, maybe her. I don't care about the dim. Dim makes it dim for Africans. I don't care about dim or Republic. They're both a problem, Brother Ja. And people calm down because we bought into dim and Repub, but they're the
absolutely
same. They're both oppressors. One laughs and oppresses you, and one just kicks you out and oppresses you. They're just both oppressors. We got to look for alternative. Go ahead.
You said they're both oppressors, right?
All day.
Oh man, that is crazy, right? Did you hear your boy Bernie? Huh? Sister Queen?
Sorry, I put myself on mute. What did he say?
Oh,
what did Bernie say?
Your boy Bernie got some kahunas again.
Oh,
your boy Bernie got some kahuna.
Because he's gonna run.
He's back because, and the thing is, Sister Queen, Bernie has been very nice and friendly to the Democratic Party and tried to buy into their ways of, maybe we can pull them to the left type of philosophy. And what he realized, you can't pull them to the left. And this is what they've always been telling us. You get them in and we pull them to the left. You deal with people like Kamala. Kamala went further to the right. If anybody wants to keep it a buck, Kamala went to the right. Your boy Bernie, can you see the article?
Yeah, I put it bigger. Yeah, I can see.
Okay, am I scrolling right now? No, am I scrolling?
Bernie says Vermont.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. You can read it. You can read it. You'll
read it.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders issued a scathing statement on what he called the Democratic Party's disastrous campaign after Vice President Kamala Harris lost the presidential election to the former President Donald Trump. The Independent, who caucuses with the Democrats, said it shouldn't come as no great surprise the Democratic Party, which has abandoned working class people, will find that the working class has abandoned them.
First, it was the white. Okay. Stop right there. And that is what I've been speaking about there. And that's why I'm saying the things I've been speaking about, people are now saying. I've been saying on this show for so long. I've been saying, Queen, she talking about making it from the middle class. And I'm saying that most of us are trying to make it to the middle class. As if, when did the middle class become a point of departure? Like I come from the middle class. It was so hard. We was around the middle class hoods and all that type of thing. What like the working class and the poor people in poverty didn't even exist in this election. I tell you who did speak about him a little bit because she got a little bit more edge, and that's called Michelle Obama. She spoke about it a little bit because they really overlooked people in poverty. They act like they didn't even exist. They act like making it out of the middle class was the struggle, not making it to the middle class. So I'm gonna go back to the article.
Okay. First, it was the white working class, and now it's Latino and Black workers as well. Sanders continued in his statement, while the Democratic leadership defends the status quo, the American people are angry and want change, and they're right. The longtime
Yeah.
progressive champion who ran for president in 2016 and 2020 reflected on the ways Americans continue to experience economic instability, from income and wealth inequality to a lack of guaranteed paid family and medical leave.
Right. She wasn't speaking to this. She wasn't speaking to these type of things. But go ahead.
But
And
was
she started
Trumpy?
out speaking to some things. What
But my question,
Trumpy
I've not
was.
heard that from when. I never heard
Well,
Trumpy talk
Trumpy
about
was. You
nothing
gotta
but.
remember, Trumpy was.
I heard him
Trump.
attack.
Trump was definitely. Trumpy speaking about bringing jobs back, doing all this type of thing. For his audience, his audience is the other working people, the middle American folk.
He got the whole middle
He's talking
America.
about deporting people. He's talking about deporting folk so that people can have opportunity. And guess who else saying that? You know what? One of the brothers on Black Liberation Media says, Brother Kamala, he says, so we didn't have a Democratic and a Republican Party, or we didn't have a left or a centrist running for president. We had white supremacy light in Kamala, and we had white supremacy hard. So anyway, he said, why would I choose white supremacy light when I can have full white supremacy? So you have both candidates. Who are you going to choose? Full white supremacy.
I don't know how much sense that makes.
And this is what people voted for.
No.
Well, we got to understand that you got to understand who voted for them. We can talk about that too, but let's go back to Bernie. We can get to who voted to them and why that made sense to them.
But Brother E in the
Saunders
chat
also
said the working class doesn't bring in big bank for the political parties. He said they don't bring in no money.
Well, they don't bring any money. That's the problem. That's the thing. But they can bring a vote. They can bring a vote, and that's who Trump kind of pandered to. We not talking about black working class. We talking about white working people. There's a lot of white working people in this country.
There is.
Yeah. Middle America don't have education like that. I'm not saying it's uneducated. I'm just saying middle America and average folk, it's not like most people have college degrees. What Kamala pandered to was people with education. And it was and people are talking about this one issue that they continue to run on wasn't enough. And what is that one issue?
Sanders also criticized continued spending on military aid to Israel, a problem.
Okay, and this is what we're saying. So also Sanders, like you said, also criticized continued spending to military aid to Israel.
Yeah,
right. He thought he could pull him to the left. Today, despite strong opposition from a majority of Americans, we continue to spend billions funding the extremist Netanyahu's government's all-out war against the Palestinian people, which has led to the horrific humanitarian disaster of mass malnutrition and starvation of thousands of children, Sanders said. I'm sorry, pardon. Sanders, who won re-election Tuesday to a fourth 6-year term in the U.S. Senate, cast doubt about the party's ability to learn its lesson. Will the big money interests and well-paid consultants who control the Democratic Party learn any real lessons from the disastrous campaign? Will they understand the pain and political alienation that tens of millions of Americans are experiencing? Do they have any ideas as to how we can take on the increasingly powerful oligarchy, which has so much economic and political power? Probably not, Sanders said. Sanders says go ahead. Sorry, Queen.
I would just say he said stay tuned. I'm just looking at what you're saying. Sorry.
Very serious political discussions are now merited about the path forward for those of us concerned about grassroots democracy and economic justice before ending his statement with stay tuned. Okay, I think we can stop there. So yeah, what you any thoughts about Sanders on this Sister Queen?
I think he's correct in a lot of ways, but he rolls with them. With the Democrats, I think on a grand scale, he's mostly votes with the Democrats. He is a high class Democrat, so I didn't see him vote against
Not
the aid
necessarily
to
what your
Israel.
thoughts are. I'm
I
no,
didn't see him vote
I'm
against
asking.
that. Did he vote
No,
against
I'm
the money
asking.
going to Israel? Please.
What do you mean
Oh.
vote against that? Was there
Didn't
something
they
on the
have a
ballot?
vote to say that the money going to Israel? Didn't you vote and before they actual sent the money, or Biden just
I
sent money? Don't they have
I
a
think
vote
that's
amongst the senators? And
now I could be wrong, in the chat can check us. But I'm thinking that was already in contract for many years that they will support Palestine. I mean, they will support Israel, and they just re-signed a new contract. I'm hearing, I think, of 10 years of continuously supporting them. And
that was
Kamala.
my
So
problem. I couldn't
now I
take
don't think,
the
but
support.
but Bernie has been outspoken in the past, and then people said he began to change and be more accepting of the Democratic Party and those centrists, thinking perhaps that he could kind of pull them to the left. And lots of people were very critical of Bernie Sanders after that presidency, after he ran for president.
I thought he was actually a Democrat. I didn't know he was independent. I don't pay much attention to him. I think he's another talking head.
What
But
what
I thought he was a actual Democrat. I didn't know he was independent. That surprised me.
Yeah, um yeah, my mouse is moving a little slow here.
Oh yeah.
Um you saying oh yeah and laugh?
Yeah, because I know how that is with this
What's that all
internet.
about, Sister Queen?
I'm not saying the internet has been very freaky with us.
Yeah.
They don't want us to get on here. So okay. So guys, listen, jump in the chat. Don't hold back. We're gonna put the link in. I want you guys to come on in. Y'all can talk to Doc straight face to face. JT, I know you hurting. Come lick your wounds, bro. Come talk to us. You got Trumpy for 4 years. And then doesn't he get to run again? Well, I tell you, these felons, the new felons out here, they can't get
Well,
a job. But this brother,
Sister,
this Trumpy can get he could be president, but they can't get a job in Microsoft. Ridiculous. I just don't even understand.
Sister Queen, what kind?
Hmm?
You don't understand?
I don't understand. I mean, a brother can come out of jail as a felon and he's not getting no job. And if he does, he has to jump through hoops and do some things. It's hard. The process after you've been a felon or adjudicated is an issue. And he comes out and he runs for president. Boy, I tell you, only in America. So since you are a little look like you busy over there, let's put this on the screen. Let's put something on the screen for the people. Guys, I got something for you.
Okay.
I promise you I do. It's coming to you big time. All right, I'm going to add it to the stage and we're going to make it big. Oh, it's still little, but this is a breakdown, guys. It says exit polls of the 2024 presidential election in the United States on yesterday. And it says on Tuesday, pardon me. And it says white percentages, black percentages, Hispanic, Asian, American Indian, and other. You see black, 12% red. This is so small. Let me see if I can make it bigger for the people. Can you see it, though?
No.
No.
You can hit that plus. You can hit that plus.
I'm gonna plus
You're
it
gonna
up.
hit that.
Hit this.
You're gonna plus it up.
I'm gonna plus him up, baby. But I think I have to do it on under. Is it bigger?
You have to go to this. No, it's not even on the screen anymore.
Really?
You you took it off. It's coming up now. You just have to add it back to the screen. I'm gonna add it. You want me to add it back for you?
It's up. I think you're frozen.
Oh, you
White 55%,
no.
43%. You don't see it?
Yeah, I can see it. It's small still, but I can see it.
It's better. White is 55% Republican, 43% Democrat. 12% Republican for blacks, 86% Democrats. Hispanic, 45% Republican, 53% Democrat. Asian, 38% Republican, 56% Democrat. American Indian, 64% Republican. Wow. 35% Democrats. And other, I guess, people who are independent, I don't know what other would be. 50% Republican, 45%. So that's pretty even, Democrats. And you see the others are the other parties. So you see no one votes outside of these two things called Democrat and Republican. So that's like the color breakdown. It's not the sex breakdown, but that's the color breakdown. We know we got to do that in this country. We got to color it up. So you see the numbers by color, DAW?
Yeah, what are you getting to?
We rolled with the Democrats. So people say, well, blacks didn't come out. We roll with the Democrats. Look at the chart. We
I
were
don't
there.
think people's. I don't think people didn't say black people aren't going to come out.
Well, you're talking about black men.
I think they said black. They said they were talking about black men.
Black men.
Although
86% black men are present.
Voted fit. Yeah, I think it was like but black men were again was the second highest voting group beneath black women. Yeah, for Democratic. But now I think that 86% is really high, and that's kind of but that's saying 86% of people who voted out of the black community voted Democratic. I had something that I was gonna actually show that kind of spoke to these numbers, but I don't know if this is the one I have up right now, but I'm having some technical issues here today. I'm trying to figure out why is this. You know what? I blew it up. Okay, I see it now. Wow.
Like Josh said, they tried to blame black men. You're right, bro. They did. They tried. That's what I'm trying to sound like. But 78% of black men voted for her. It wasn't black men. Not black men this time.
This time, we mean this time.
That was my blame black men.
It wasn't. I'm gonna blame black men.
They blame black men.
I'm yeah, I think that if we, I'm just be quiet. Be quiet.
Yeah, please don't say nothing but black men.
we can put our votes. I think black men and black women can put their votes elsewhere.
I think so too. I think we really have to look at the third parties. We have to. We don't want to. We feel they'll never win, but we got to get them to the ballot. They got to become mainstream. You know, Doc?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I also understand, and I agree with what you often say. It's just not, voting itself is not enough. And I would also implore us to do some work in between time, not to just vote for or try to bring about. Let me just keep it a buck. I have great issue with our community following behind the white standards. And somehow we think it's cool to to play in this political game the way that we're playing. Like, all the way to the end, Kamala, like, I think she should be, I think you should be, to be honest with you. And I understand why some people were turned off, even. Like, let me ask you a question. Did you see that Kamala commercial for the Kamala commercial for men?
No, you know, I don't have a television.
Huh?
No.
No. Well, it's not. Well, you have. I don't have a television either, but the Kamala commercial for men it is horrible. I mean, like, and then the fact, and I mean, it's pandering at its best, and it's not just black men. It's Kamala for men. Like, some things, I just like, I don't know who could talk you into being okay with some of these things that they put out. But even the fact that she kept bringing these singers out to us, these singers, the worst kind. The Nicki was not Nicki Minaj. What's the sister name? Cardi B's and like, literally, these are the people you brought before us. But then when you go in other communities, you bring a whole different caliber many times. But I don't know, like, this political game, it is despicable to me.
Well, this is what they do,
is,
They
it is
perform. So
horrendous.
they brought out performers. They perform for us and we believe it. And so they brought out performers. Everything is performative for Black folks. If we see a statue or if we see a Black president, that's all we need. We don't need real policy. We don't need real results, unfortunately. But performance is where we at. So they brought out what we like. We like to be entertained. We like the performance. That's why they bring all of the cronies. That's what they do. It works. But it didn't work Wednesday.
I don't know if it worked. I don't know. I
Well,
don't
it didn't
know if
work
it worked.
because they didn't. Did you see the map? They didn't play. They didn't go to college. I told you that electoral college is gonna get you. You can be popular. You can have the
Well,
baddest rallies. You could do it
but
all. You could jump. You could break dance. But if you're not going to college and understanding that
no, but
voting in this country is not just for
but
who
that
you
didn't that.
like. It's strategic.
But that's not what happened in this particular election.
Why didn't it? Look at the
Um,
college. What you mean it didn't? He got all the states in the middle.
I'm not.
What you
Well,
mean?
no, what I'm saying is Trump actually won. Trump won the popular vote.
Makes sense too.
So what I'm saying is the electoral college. He without the electoral college, he still would have won. He won the popular vote.
I didn't know he won the public vote, but when I looked, he had like 120 and she had like 80. I said, "Oh, she's done. She's not gonna be able to catch up." And he got 270 really quick. I think
Yeah,
that.
he won the.
But you preoccupied. You're
Yeah.
trying to bring something up. You're preoccupied. Listen, let me tell you. I went to vote, right? So I went to vote in Baltimore, which is, I took my mother to vote in South Carolina. They got all digital machines, moves fast. Uh, um, there's no filling in the bubbles. Went to Baltimore in the hood, went to vote. They got 3 machines, and the rest you have to do it like when you're in school, fill in the bubbles, which I think is ridiculous. So we had to fill in the bubbles. So once you fill in the bubbles, you stand there, you read everything, you fill in the bubbles with your ballot per se. Then
That's new.
Yeah, well, that's what they gave me. You get a manila envelope. Folder with your ballot. I guess it's supposed to be hiding something. And they got these little cubbies that you stand up and do your joint. You color your bubbles like Scantron. So I was doing a Scantron.
Right.
So coloring the bubbles. And so when I was done, the lady said, "Okay, you go there and give your ballot to the lady." So I gave the ballot to the lady, put it in the thing. I put 2 papers in and said, "No, I can't do 2 papers." So because it was two ballots. I mean 2 pieces. So I put the one in, then she put the other one in. You know what it said?
What?
"Thank you for voting." No consensus of what I voted for, who I voted for, just thank you for voting. I said, I don't believe nothing like that. I don't care where you go. At least put a consensus of what it read. The Scantron should read in front of me, and then I hit it and say, okay. Do you get what I'm saying? I think that we cannot trust a group, a system
You know that's
in
new,
this
right?
country that has always lied. And I think we trust this process, but I don't believe in it. And there's no way I can go to the store, give them money, and they just say, okay, thank you for buying. And they don't show me how much my stuff was. And I don't get an itemized receipt, or I don't know what I don't know what I brought or nah. I don't think we would accept that in anything, and we accept it in voting. I just felt so ridiculous. Like, put it in a machine, thank you for voting. How you what does that mean? Like,
But
I
you know
think
that
it's
is,
sensical. It
I
make
mean,
don't make sense. Go ahead.
just to push back just a little bit. You know that it used to be that way in Maryland where you just push the buttons. What they're doing with this Scantron sheet is more recent in years,
And they
where
had
they
three.
use.
They had three machines,
I
but they
know
were
what
filled. And I did the Scantron last time I voted.
I'm saying. They used to. I'm saying they used to have a bunch of machines, right? And you just put it in. But look, this Scantron thing is something. Even when I went to the machine, they had me put it in the machine. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's more of a recent thing though. So yeah, I don't know. You know,
I
with
don't
all
like
this
the
voter
process.
fraud, I think they're saying that is the receipt.
When you don't get anything back. Once you give it to them, it's gone. So how's that a receipt?
Oh,
And I don't know how we
I
could
mean,
just
for
believe this group, this system, this
mhm,
country. Like, if you
mhm.
put something in a machine, that they're just going to count it for you, and then give you the right results and elect who you want to. It sounds nonsense. It sounds ridiculous. People who
So
don't tell
you
the
don't
truth
believe
about themselves now tell the truth about who's president and who's voting. No, I don't believe it. I don't
you
like
so
that system. I don't think it's good.
you want to enact legislation that says that we need to have we need to that we need to have a receipt after we vote.
I think it should be something that you see on the screen that it would see what is calculated at least. I want the people to say, how did you guys' process go? Let me put this
Mm,
the link in the chat. I want to know, what did you guys think of it? That's what happened to me. And I know I took my mother to vote, and it was buttered in South Carolina. Touch the buttons, and
mm,
South Carolina's red, baby, big and red.
mhm.
It's Trump country. And so in
I'm
Baltimore
a
and
man.
Huntsville, I had to do
I'm a man.
Scantron.
I'm a man.
I'm a man. Man.
I'm a macho man.
I'm a macho.
Oh, this ain't commercial. They they doing a parody, but I want to find a real one. But it's how it seemed though. Oh God, Ben for Kamala. Oh man, Sister Queen, you still there?
I'm here.
Oh man, so I got the wrong this is a parody of it. Oh man, that's funny. I want to see the real one though. Like, I want to show you this. He ain't me. Jeez, I want you to see this. Is this it? No, that's a joke. That's not the real one. Oh man, don't tell me they took it down. Ah man, where did he have it at? Oh man, I wonder if they took it off. I wonder if this is it. I mean, this isn't it, but let's see what they have here.
I've had Steelers season tickets since I'm 7 years old, man. Me and my dad, that's our thing.
Here we go, Steelers! Here we go!
I was a 7-year-old with a little mullet, just like a Pittsburgher should have, with a Cordell Stewart jersey on, sitting at Three Rivers Stadium watching in 1995. A Yinzer, I'd define it as somebody that bleeds black and gold, works hard, cares about their family and their hometown. Donald Trump does not care about the working man whatsoever. This guy's not looking out for my family. Talking about giving tax breaks to billionaires, and he's going to sell out working families to pay for it. Cut our health care. Cut our Social Security. He's a little rich kid, too. He ain't me. Little silver spoon boy Donald Trump. How is he relatable to me whatsoever? The guy literally lives in a country club. Do I look like a country club kind of guy?
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Oh man, I can't find the right one, but that one wasn't so bad. Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, so I'm gonna do this, Queen. I'm gonna share something. I'm gonna share something else while I'm looking for that video. I just want you to see it. I just want your reaction to it, like really, really badly. But let me see if I can pull this up. And I think you were talking about you were putting a link in the chat or something like that.
Yep. I would like to hear other people's process of voting. Are they disenchanted or disenfranchised like I did? Like, talk to me. Tell me about this process.
You want to know if you want to know if people feel like it's a hoax.
Listen, this man that we have president now has done everything that you should not do. And still,
so you think people vote
is able to be president? So I really think that we're being played. And they set up
so you think that
set it up for him to win. And he won.
I think I mean, so you think that they just set it up. You don't think people literally voted their interests. You don't think it had anything to do with how people actually voted. Is that what I'm hearing? Queen? Oh, I think Queen went out, y'all. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, but Queen went out. I was looking up some things, but I'm not sure if I agree with that sentiment. I think that people literally have been, the war has been waged upon the way that we think. I'm not saying that there's no foul play ever, but I think it starts with the campaigning. I think it starts with the fear tactics, all these different things, right? I'm not sure if how I'm doing here because it looked like I'm frozen. Can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat and tell me how I'm doing in here today, because I feel like something's going on. Hello. I went out. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the video. I don't know. Queen got knocked out. But yeah. Thanks, brother Ja. I'm not much of conspiracy theorist, although I know there's some conspiring going on. But I will say is that people will vote their, thank you, brother JT. People will vote their interest. I'm just not the best conspiracy theorist. Because I understand how our minds are being waged upon and how we're taught to make decisions due to the campaigning, due to the propaganda. People literally believe in this guy. You understand? I mean, all you have to do is talk to people and they will tell you. I mean, I felt the energy change. I felt the energy change from Kamala's campaign to Trump's campaign. I talked to the people. There's people in our community that won't even share that they did vote for Trump, but they did vote for Trump because a lot of people are. I mean, it's a lot of people are apathetic. Even there's a lot that goes in to or that factors into how people vote. And I will argue, I maintain, and I suggest that this voting thing, the Democratic Party has failed us. I mean, as much as I always said, like, a little piece of me always would like to see a Kamala be in the White House. Do I think that she would do anything? No, I don't. I mean, when I say anything, I'm saying anything substantial to free out people or get out people to a certain level, or, or even stand up against the system. No, I mean, in my ideal sense, deep down inside, the truth is I do have some hope inside that if she got in, that perhaps I would be proven wrong. And I think many of us felt that way about Obama. And the thing is, we all kind of switched up when Obama got in the White House and was like, and some of the most radical of us switched up and gave Obama passes. And I'm just saying, like, I think this is a sign that the Democratic Party has to do something better. And again, I often talk about how this is really a war of white people against black people. In fact, I think there's a white male and white female war, and that's what we saw. And I'm not saying that Kamala is not black. I suggest that she is and argue that she is. But what I am saying is that we particularly are fighting in the popular thing to do again is to run on white issues, even if we want to call them something else. I mean, the fact that the white women, again, in large numbers voted for Trump is indicative of who they want to vote for. And we continue to give white women passes and saying that, they're voting their husband's interests. I think that logic fails, as if they don't benefit from their husband's interests. Like, we act like white women are these oppressed people that just live with these white men for the majority and don't benefit from that. And we're being played. You better believe it, because the reality is what we do is we go to these schools and we find a white liberal or a white progressive, and then we end up believing that they are the majority of the white people. In fact, the progressives are fewer, the liberals are more, but still, when you look at the entire picture, the bigger picture, there's a whole nother segment of white women that don't believe what they believe is this educated nonsense. And these people, these women, are voting their interests. They want to make sure their sons stay in power. They want to make sure their daughters are continuously being taken care of. Again, they want to make sure that their sons stay in power. You have to understand that there are white women birthing these guys. They want their sons to stay in power. My problem is that we fall for the white liberals and the white patriarchal conservatives. Like, I neither one of these, from my standpoint, is a good option. And I've been talking about this for a long time. I've been talking about this whole campaign, and nobody wants, I'm not going to say nobody, but it's like nobody really. A lot of people haven't really been talking about it like this. Like, but now people are talking about it. People are talking about it because it's evident in how people voted. And then again, we've been so quiet about like people asking like, could Kamala possibly won an election off of Roe versus Wade? And we see that even in the very states where, and we got to keep it a buck, what Trump was saying is, look, I think we should let the states take care of that. And in these different states, they many of the states work towards codifying Roe versus Wade, right? And they did in many states. But again, the same white women who voted for codifying it, Roe versus Wade, had to also be the same women who also voted for Trump. Not all, I'm just saying many of them. You can vote for multiple parties on one ticket. I did myself. I voted for Green on one hand. I voted even Democratic. More locally, I voted Democratic. But the reality is, I'm arguing that we have to stop being duped by white men and women. What does it say? National exit polls, this is by Barbara Arsar, says national exit polls show that 53% of white women voted for an adjudicated APIS, right? And they like we really think that people really are concerned about this person's behaviors. Like we think that people are voting morally. No, people are not voting morally. People are voting for protection. People are voting for protection because they do not want the American empire to end. We got to keep it a buck. We think people are voting for these single issues, and they're not. People are not voting for these single issues. They showed you they're not. They don't want to lose their stuff. Or as QueenA B says, their stuff is. They do not want to lose their stuff. This is what people are voting for. And they got us believing, they have us believing that somehow that they really have our best interest at hand. They have us, our brothers and sisters, again, fighting against one another. They have us warring against one another. Again, white women and white men showed you who they want in the White House. Is not a mistake, and I do not agree with Queen. I do not agree with this idea that that is this conspiracy stuff. No, they voted for who they wanted. They voted exactly for who they wanted. This is what the country is made of, and this is what their thoughts are. It's telling you what their thoughts are. This is a country that is indoctrinated with white people. I am not saying that there's never any kind of play with the elections, but the reality is, no, these votes count. Am I saying there's never any foul play? No. But the reality is, to keep it a buck, we can't talk about it 2-3 different ways. The reality is these people voted for exactly who they wanted. Exactly who they wanted. And the reality is we also have to hold Kamala and everybody else accountable for the weak campaign that she's run. That weak campaign that never stood for anything. I think it's Dr. King to say, if you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. So what I am saying is, we have the weak politics with no stances that's not going to do anything for any people. I'm not going to end the war in Gaza. We have to keep it a buck. That black people, we vote morally lots of times, and sometimes we can't see outside of we deal with fear, and our fear and stuff a different way than lots of groups of people. We deal with fear through spirituality and religion and all these type of things. This is not how white people culturally are, not necessarily as a whole. I'm not saying individual white folks, but I'm saying on a whole, black people, the research will support that they are more religiously oriented or spiritually oriented than other groups. Sometimes we look through those lenses when we are assessing other folk. And I'm suggesting we are using the wrong conceptualization. We are utilizing the wrong theories to conceptualize white people as a group. White people as a group are looking for power. They look the power. We looking for power through God and Jesus and Jehovah and Allah and Olatunja. Olaruma and Ogun and all these type of things. We are very spiritually and holy and religious type of folks. But we have to stop assessing the other groups of people. We're not culturally competent. No, we're not. They're trying to protect their sons. I saw Queen come in and she left back out. But nonetheless, they are trying to protect their empire. They are trying to protect their stuff. That's what they're trying to do. Who want to come in here and chat it up with me as Sister Queen get her things together? Because I did have some things to show, but I'm afraid, like, if I start moving around and start showing some things that some things might happen. Okay, let me do this. Let me do this one. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show this one. That's what I'm going to do. Hopefully I'm going to show you an opinion piece, right? An opinion piece is anecdotal, but I think that the fact that the person said it is indicative that there's other people that feel like this, right? And let's read this. Stop giving white women a pass. White women have inherited you as property and benefited off of it. Stop giving white women a pass. So listen here. So this is an opinion piece by Ingrid Jaquist, I guess her name is. It's entitled, Harris lost because she was a bad candidate. Don't blame white women for that, she says. This is what she says. She says, Kamala Harris campaign and her acolytes angered a lot of women, and rightfully so, when they began actively talking down to conservative women late in campaign. All right. This is a white woman who posted an opinion piece. She says, much like in 2016, I didn't vote for the woman at the top of the ticket Tuesday. It's not because I have fear of a female president. I'm all for that idea. She says, but don't expect me and other women to line up for a candidate simply because of her sex or any other immutable characteristic. I want someone who will stand for my principles and beliefs. Listen, she says she wants someone that will stand for her principles and beliefs. And this is what I'm sorry. I'm not sharing my screen. But this is what she's saying. That she wants one to stand for her principles and beliefs. So believe them when they tell you. Believe them when they tell you. Okay. I'm going to try to put that on the screen again. I see Sister Queen is in here. I'm not sure if she's going to try to if she's coming in or not, but let me see if I can pull this up. So she says, I want someone to stand for my principles and my beliefs. Let's see if it's up. Is it up? Is it up? No, it's not up. It's not up. All right. So let's see here. Okay. I'm going to add this to the stage. All right. Let me know if we can see it. Pardon y'all. Thanks for y'all patience as I get this up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. So let me go back to the top of the article so that you can see exactly what I was saying. So we'll go back up to the top here. This is the author. This is the title of the article. I read that. I read down to this portion. What did I read to? Oh yeah, she says, I want someone who will stand for my principles and beliefs. She says Vice President Kamala Harris, who avoided going through the Democratic primary by bootlegging President Joe Biden last minute from the ticket, proved a completely unsurprising and unsubstantial candidate. And a lot of voters saw through the charade, including many white women. And as I looked at the rally over there, the MAGA rally, I kept looking at white men, and every white man nearly had a white woman right beside him. Understand, they're voting for family. They're voting for family, their families and their communities, and got you confused to believe that you're voting for yourself. You're voting for yourself. You're voting for mine. They tricked you to believe that they voting for their body and got you kind of, and I'm not saying, look, I, for the most part, it is pro-choice, but I also think that in that pro-choice, it should be some family conversation. It shouldn't be it should be familial but at the end of the day, that's that person's body. But I don't think you can cut out the family. But when I looked at what was going on down at Trump's rally, what I saw was white man, white woman, white man, white woman, white man, white woman. And what I'm saying, when it comes to Kamala's rally, it looked a lot different. It wasn't as many families or I don't even know if they were family or pairs or black men and black women beside. You see a whole different type of thing. When I'm saying we need not to drink the Kool-Aid, because a lot of quote unquote educated liberal people who see things through a certain lens have us believing that that this is the best way to be, and that somehow black men are oppressors to black women. So this is what you do. So anyway, let's keep going. In what many expected to be a nail biter of an election, former President Donald Trump easily trounced Harris. It's because he was the better candidate, she says, and because he spoke directly to voters' top concerns, period. This is what she says. Yet the reality hasn't prevented the tired hand-wringing that Harris lost must be tied to something nefarious, such as America's inherent racism and sexism. See, she doesn't believe in that. This white woman who wrote this article, she does in USA Today, she doesn't believe in that. She doesn't believe it. And I am saying that we get it confused to believe that when we go to school and we get this education and we get a white ally, that somehow this represents white women as a whole, or at least the greater number of white women. But no, this election shows you and tells you, even though I don't agree with either candidate, what you call white supremacy light or white supremacy hard, but we will say that they believe in white supremacy hard or complete white supremacy. They don't want white supremacy light. They want it hard, and they want to stay in position, even if they're not totally in position. Stop confusing your few white friends that the liberals, some of them mean well, but they ain't changing those spaces. They ain't giving up nothing either. You understand? Then you have the progressive that's a little bit more or less change the system, but a lot of liberal white women who cry with you, hold your hands, and turn red when they're caught up for their own racism, they ain't going to war with you like that. But they will change some words for you, and they will tell you how to change a word to make it more palatable for many groups of people. What they want to do is change words. You know what I mean? They want to change words and and understand bias and and they don't even want to understand that, to be honest with you. It's all a game. They can't handle it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I work with too many. I'm not saying that you won't find one. I'm just saying never confuse the majority or the minority with the majority. Never confuse the minority with the majority, because it takes a lot of hard work to want to really help black folk or to be allies with black folk. I mean, literally, you're literally going to be giving up some things. And I'm telling you that many of the black people who are in the Democratic Party don't want to give up anything. They want to gain a thing. They want to gain proximity to the empire. They want to gain proximity to the wealth of this country. I mean, and I'm not saying, look, that wealth is a bad thing. I do think I would argue that it's a bad thing when your wealth depends on somebody else being downtrodden. You know, when your wealth depends on someone else not having. You understand? I believe in community wealth. You understand? That's what but we want to be famous. We want to be the ones of the group. We want to be the elite class of black folks. The very fact that Kamala can run a campaign, the very fact that she can run a campaign and only talk about, for the most part, talk about middle class people with a middle class agenda, if you want to call it that, is ridiculous. I mean, even the cryptocurrency hustle that she promoted to black men in the weed hustle, and you can get into the industry that she promoted to black men, it wasn't real. We know it wasn't real. We have to blame Kamala for not being radical enough because she lost the election. I mean, joy ain't what people in this country want to hear. This country was not built on joy. Let's keep it above. See, we keep getting it confused. We got something wrong. Nobody wants to see their president. I'm not saying black people. We a different type of folk. We got some spiritual things going on. We want some joy. The power is joy to them. And you messing with their joy if you mess with their power. So they're not trying to hear this snickling and grinning. They like, she is not going to be able to oppress people. Her snickling and her grinning is not going to continue to oppress people. They like, as much as we hope we can pull her left. They're like, no, we get her up in there, they might pull her left. And we got to keep empire together. We got to keep empire together. She tried her best to be the tough person on the border. She tried to be her best to be the best Republican Democrat she could be. She tried her best to be the best Republican Democrat she could be. And that still wasn't enough. See, because she was not going to move to the left. Because the left wasn't popular this season. And somebody who cannot stand on a thing, I don't trust him. And I'm telling you, black people and other people around this country, they are not foolish enough to know when you are speaking out of two sides of your, what they say, you speaking with forked tongue. Speaking out two sides of your mouth. So we have to, look. At this moment, we got to organize. And I'm not saying this to say, just to be speaking words. I mean, come holler at us at TNAT. We're going to have a healing circle Monday this week, 5:30, next week, 5:30, to kind of process this. And I do feel, because our people are afraid, and people asking, why are people afraid? Why are people afraid? Because they fear-mongered us. Both sides. They put the fear in us. Sister Queen is asking the question of whether or not the election, she don't believe the results and all this type of thing, and whether no, they feared people into voting. Believe me. I mean, yeah. No, look, I ain't with the conspiracy theories. I'm gonna go back to that. I know she listening. I see it down there. But look, no. We ain't getting caught up with these fake, these things that we think and feel. No, believe me, those billions of dollars that they put out. Let's talk about the billions of dollars, or the $1 billion that Kamala raised. What can you do with that in this country, in this city? What can a city like Baltimore do with $1 billion other than put a candidate that's just going to speak about joy, or another one's just going to come in and just, I don't know what he talks about. He don't talk. The man, you talking about her speaking out of two sides of her mouth. You know what? She don't speak out two sides of her mouth. She does really good at saying nothing. Let's say that. She does really good at double dutching. But what he does, he speaks out of two sides of his mouth. He will tell you whatever he got to say because he's a liar. He's a real liar. And people like liars because they think he's a tough guy. This country is toxic. This country is toxic. And what do I mean by that? We know that many of us like the bad guy. Many of us like the bad man. Many of us like a lot of the sisters, y'all know y'all like the dope boy. Stop it. I meet with y'all all the time. Y'all like the tough guy and the little guy that ain't tough and he nice to you. You don't even like him. And the brothers like they like the good girl sometimes, but they got the good girl at home and they got the other one, on the side. Because the other one on the side get them excited. The one at home, they want to stay pure and sanctified and all this type of thing. That is a white model. You're doing everything you know that you shouldn't be doing with the woman on the side, and you at home and you ain't doing nothing with your wife. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, in this society, if we begin to look at white society and judge them by the standard and the culture of black people, we will be wrong every time. And I'm not saying that there's not a group of white people that don't see things the way you see it. But I am saying this is not the majority. Stop confusing that. Dr. Amos Wilson spoke to that so eloquently and profoundly. We have to stop confusing. No, you don't. No, they don't. They do not have to. They do not have to rig the votes. They've already rigged the minds. They don't have to rig the votes. They rigged the minds and the behinds. What goes in the mind, went the behind and pushed the button, and they voted for who they wanted. I don't want us to say they didn't vote for who they wanted, because they did. They voted exactly for what they wanted. And why am I saying that? Because if you say they didn't vote for what they wanted, then you believe that people believe a different way. And people believe exactly for who they voted for. And these white people, Latino people, also afraid, black people even, those who voted for this guy voted because they bought into what the empire hard. They bought into empire. All you have to do is listen. See, the problem is, and some of the pundits are saying that what happened is Kamala somehow and other people in the Democratic Party thought that most Latinos or most people who've migrated here were concerned about other people's coming to the country. I am telling you, who's concerned about other people coming to this country are black people. It is not necessarily Latinos who fought to get here, or even other people from even some black people who came here and they said they got their visa and they had to do the hard work to get here. They don't necessarily mean they want their cousin them up in here. They don't mean they want their cousin them up in here when they had to go through the hard process. And believe it. And the other thing is, lots of them don't like. You know how it is. Think about us. Think about us. When we get a little job, we get a little education, we get a little couple of dollars, we move out to white neighborhoods. We move out to the white community, and we get mad when black people start coming around. Oh man, I gotta move. There's too many of us coming. That's the same mentality that they have when they come here lots of times. So, look, we liberation to us is getting away from black people sometimes. We think we done made it when we moved out of the black neighborhood. It's a struggle for me to move out the black neighborhood because my work is in the black community, and black community needs you in it to be a representative of the community. You understand what I'm saying? So again, there was poor calculations on the side of the Democratic Party, and we keep looking at things from a lens that is not culturally competent when you have to really look at how white people operate, how they think, how they feel. So you're not operating from a culturally competent perspective when you're looking at white people utilizing a black lens. So let's keep reading here. Again, it says, in what many expected to be a nail biter of an election, former President Donald Trump easily trounced Harris. It's because he was the better candidate and because he spoke directly to voters, she said. Top concerns, period. Yet that reality hasn't prevented the tired hand-wringing that Harris lost must be tied to something nefarious. such as America's inherent racism and sexism, she said. That's where I stopped at. So she said, no, such as America's inherent racism and sexism. And the fact that people can even, you know, like I'm hearing people say, I'm saying even on the Democratic side, even on the black side, people are saying now that, Queen, I'm hearing some noise on that end. I'm going to mute you. I'm hearing people say things like they're speaking and with their chest, you know, out. They're saying things like there was no racism or no sexism in this election. Like, okay, they're saying there was no racism or no sexism in this election. Like, I am not going to argue. I am not going to suggest that there was racism or sexism completely was the issue. But I think that you will be a fool to not. Let me change my word. Let me be therapeutic. I would think you would be misled not to believe that there are some voters in the population that damn sure didn't want no black woman or a woman president. You're bugging if you don't believe that. I am not saying that is the entire thing, but to say to take that off the table is I don't even know. I'm looking for the term. It's I don't even know. I can't even say it, inappropriate or something. I don't know. It's just, it's not, like I'm disappointed in you. I mean, I'm disappointed in your intellect. I'm disappointed in your rationale and your reasoning. I'm looking for a better word, but that's what's coming up right now. Go ahead, say it, Sister Queen. Read sign language. You gotta take your mic off mute. Say it again, Queen.
You have to unmute for me. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me?
Oh,
yeah, I can't do anything.
I said,
I have no control over here. But it's disingenuous. It doesn't make, it's nonsensical to think that race and none of that had nothing to do with it. So you would have to mute and unmute me. I'm having problems over here.
Okay. I think you sound better. I think you may have gotten your mic hooked back up or something. So let's go back to this article really quickly. And so okay, so she says, let me go back to the statement. Yet that reality hasn't prevented the tired hand wringing that Harris lost must be tied to something nefarious, such as America's inherent racism and sexism. If it's not the entire thing, it's definitely a major part of the thing. Or even worse, some on the left would try to say white women didn't have the wherewithal to stand up to the men in their lives. And let's talk about that. And this is what I've been saying. This is what I'm saying. I agree with her on that. I agree with her on that point, that people will say that. But again, I think she's correct, because white women are voting their interests. Stop trying to convince white women that they're not trying to keep their sons in power.
Good job.
I want to stop right there with that. Like, stop trying to convince white women that they're not trying to keep their sons in power and their daughters protected by somebody else's son. Stop trying to convince white people that they're not trying to maintain a power position in the country that they believe they fought for, killed for, and deserve. Like, you're trying to hit them in this spot. No, that's not how they think.
Yep.
They think, and you try to say, well, you killed the Indians. They like, so that's what warmongers do.
Yep.
We think that they're thinking the way that you think. No, you like to be the president of this country, you got to be a killer.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you representing these two parties. Like, no, they not gonna have no therapists up in the White House. That's why they don't want no woman hardly up in there. Look, you got a PhD. They don't hardly want you in the White House with a PhD unless it's in something like some hard science that's okay with killing people and creating bombs. Like we got this thing twisted. Mm-hmm. We think that they're going to have somebody with a PhD in human science or something that or some unless it's a political science and how to kill people and take over the land. You think that? Look, we keep thinking that, we're going to defund the military. Like, why would they want to defund the military? Like, let's keep that a buck.
Why?
We think that somehow that we're going to convince this country, like Kamala had to show you how she had to show you that she could be a man. Ooh. That's the campaign she ran on, but she also said joy on the side. She smiled and then she said, let me be serious and let me show you how much I can deport people. And let me be clear, I'm the only one on this ticket. I'm the only one who fought up against this and that and that and this. So what I'm saying is, again, there was not a two-party system here. There was a right-wing party and a far right-wing party. And somehow we confuse this with morality. See, the problem is white people gotten you looking at things from a moral standpoint. They got you saying there's a certain way to protest even. Like the fact that you they didn't protest right. They didn't protest. They stood up. Look at what they did to the police cars. They know they shouldn't and they got you believe they be like, yes, the poor children, but they shouldn't have did that. How do you tell hungry people who are oppressed, how to fight back? That's the same game they playing on you in Palestine. Ooh. What I'm saying is it's a hoax. It's a game. And white women, I'm not saying all, there's a few who escaped their cultural ideology, because their cultural ideology is to conquer. Their cultural ideology is to conquer. Their cultural ideology tells them that they're better than everybody. They must civilize the masses of people, and that black people are the most uncivilized. Their ideology, whether or not they want to admit it, shows you that the more melanin that you have in your skin, whether or not it expresses outwardly that you are more inferior. Now, keep in mind, I said whether or not it expresses outwardly. Once they see you as black, you are the most inferior. I don't care if you light-skinned black or dark-skinned black. Dark-skinned black is more triggering. Light-skinned black, from a light-skinned black, I'm talking about light-skinned damn near white. Once they figure out you black, you still black. Mm-hmm. It don't even matter if the lightest black is to them no better than the darkest white that's darker than that lightest black. What am I saying here? I'm saying those that are more southern in Europe's and all those type of things, the darker hued white folk, quote unquote, white folk, are still more superior in their thinking than the lighter black folk, quote unquote. Because black is deeper than what you express outwardly. Being black is a status position to them. So let's go back. So this white woman is telling you, again, or even worse, some on the left will try to say many white women didn't have the wherewithal to stand up to the men in their lives. She's telling you, look, don't don't try to put that on us. We are with our men. That is what she's telling you. And she's telling you that is what 50-something% of white women voted for. They voted for their families, their legacies. They voted to maintain power in this country. I keep telling you, even the liberal whites, they don't send their children to school with yours. I keep telling you, like, they dare not send their children. I see some of them in elementary school because they're at the school teaching might do it, but at the while they get them out there quickly.
Yeah.
She says apparently Democrats learned nothing following Hillary Clinton's loss in 2016. It was expected that all women would flock to Clinton simply because of her sex. They didn't. The white woman helped deliver a win to Trump, much like they did this time. Clinton never forgave. Hold on. Am I still up? Clinton never forgave the women who didn't vote for her and wrote a self-pitying book, What Happened, following the election that documented her disgust. Yes, she says the stakes are high, but our democracy will survive this election. While Harris' sex played less of an obvious role in her campaign, the undercurrents were still there. The Harris campaign and her acolytes angered a lot of women, and rightly so, when they began to actively down. I'm sorry, am I still sharing?
You scroll up. Yeah, yeah, you're reading.
Yeah, I am scrolling, but
are you? Okay. What? Oh no. He's gone. Guys, we're having some serious issues tonight. And Brother DAW was laying it down. And none of my controls are working over here. So I got my people's here and I can't do much. We hope he comes back quickly. I think they don't want us to talk about the Democrats and the Republicans and Trump and Kamala. And I know DAW has been saying white people have voted for what they want. And I believe that. But I also believe that we believe in a system that does not work for us. And we want the system too. So we vote. We be good Christians. We're good career people. We take care of what we need to take care of. We pay our bills. And we still are powerless in this country. And we see that when it's time to vote, you can vote for whoever you want, but the numbers just alone, all of the minorities would have to vote all together to challenge the Europeans. That's changing. Trust me, it is. And so they got to get everything in place before it really flips on them. DAW got to come back in here because he got all the paperwork for you guys. But we've had some serious technological problems. But the name of this thing is Why the Dems Lost, Fear Tactics, and No Substance. I think fear played a huge part of what we're seeing now. That's why people are lethargic. They're hurting. They don't know what to do next. You know, everyone I've encountered, like, we're gonna be all right. That's what you say when you're afraid. Oh, it's gonna be good. We can handle this. We can handle anything. I'm trying to tell you, we're gonna really be all right. But we gotta galvanize. We gotta come together. Brother DAW, you got it. They sabotaging our show again. That's what they do with us. They give us slow internet and they drop us one at a time. First it was me, now it's DAW. And this is Doc in the box. So the box is here without a dot. But anyway, throw some stuff in the chat and see if we can get him back in here. We're about to fly out of here soon anyway, but throw some stuff in the chat. You guys, who did y'all vote for? Did you vote? It sounds like everybody voted Democratic. No one wants to divulge who they voted for. I voted for the Green Party, not for Jill Stein. I like Bitchware. You know, I don't particularly trust white women. She does say a lot of great things, but I'm voting to see change and a ballot on the long term. We're voting with transgender and all of these white topics that has nothing to do with black people. But if we don't get different candidates in play, if we don't get them on the ballot, if we don't get better selections, we're never going forward. We're just never going forward. Brother JT, I know you Brooklyn for Kamala. I know you voted for Kamala, and she appreciates your vote. But just like we were saying that the Green Party won't win, the Independent, which is Cornell, wouldn't win. The other chick, Dela Cruz, she wouldn't win. The Democrats didn't win either, or couldn't win. How about that? And all of that. So I'm glad you guys are being honest. I like that. Brother JT, I get it. Brooklyn for Kamala. We know you loved her. You came and talked about her. Brother E, my brother, always the think tank, Black Yield. You brought it for Dr. Cornell West. Okay. I like Cornell, but I have some issues with Cornell, but he was independent. I think we need to see that. So I appreciate you guys being honest. I, of course, like I said, voted for the Green Party. Not particularly for the candidates, but we need change on the ballots. So it's good to see you guys sharing.
I was jamming. Jesus, when did I get cut off?
You got cut off, bro. I was like, this is Doc in the box, and the Doc's been gone for about 5 minutes. You've been gone for a minute.
I've been gone for a minute. Oh man,
yeah.
I was still gone because see, I can't look at my screen and read the article. But
okay, yeah, that's why I gotta help you. Like Brother John said, they sabotaging the show again. He right. We need you back, John. What's up with you, bro? So yeah, they sabotaging. We gotta do too much up here.
Hold on. I gotta at least repeat what I said before we go. This was
okay. Go ahead.
Oh my God!
You see, they was telling. I told him I was for the Green Party, and you see my brothers. JT threw he voted for Kamala, and Brother E, Dr. Cornell West. So people being transparent with who they threw up there.
Oh man!
Yeah. Let me see. Brother Josh said when Obama was running, I went Green Party. The Afro-Latina sister that was running for VP that year was a friend of mine, and I was able to kick it with her, so I voted for her. Okay, so he voted. We got to change this look, and the only people can change it is the revolutionaries of this society, and that's Africans. All right, Brother Da, drop it. Let's go. Dr. Da.
Is the screen up, Sister Queen?
Let me put it up for you, my brother, and I'll do the reading.
All right.
I got you. Let me get it big.
I might have. Oh man.
Wait a minute. Let me get y'all off the screen.
I can't even find. Okay, what happened to the thing?
Okay.
All right. So
the brothers is laying.
Okay.
We never have no sisters in here. That's why I love my brothers. We never have no sisters thrown in.
I think some of our sisters. I don't want to say that, but yeah.
You don't say.
We need more sisters in these
we need more sisters. We got these powerful brothers. We got Ja, Brother E. We got Asa.
We definitely
Baba
need more.
and we don't have no women.
We definitely need more sisters. Because if we don't have, we definitely need women in these spaces because there's no movement without them.
There you go.
And women are powerful. But the problem is when the enemy has our women, then there's like that's a struggle. We can't compete against that. Because our sisters are a force.
Wow.
And
so that is so true. The enemy got them.
And the thing is, our sisters don't mean no harm. They don't mean it. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
But when we talking about the divine, we talking about all these sisters out here. If sisters could put the amount of energy they put into Kamala's campaign into more of a black conscious movement, we'll be unstoppable.
Ooh.
But the you know what I'm saying? So
that's the big words. Sisters told me today, like we gotta make the system work. And I'm like, the system is working. You gotta rework your mind. So that's powerful what you just said.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta so what's this opinion poll? Let me see if I can go back to it.
So you want me to read for you, dear brother?
Let me see. I'm a trying to see where I'm at. Is this the poll? Is this it?
This is perhaps Trump. The gender gap wasn't as big as predicted. Don't blame sexism.
Is this
opinion?
It?
Yes, stakes are high, but
anyway, I'm gonna.
This is where you stop.
Yeah, the internet is horrible. So,
but our democracy will survive this election. Yeah, you said while Harris' sex played less of an obvious role. This is where we didn't hear you anymore.
Oh man, my internet is sucks right now. But oh man, let me see. Okay, hold on. So you said this is where I stopped.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know the point you were at. But this is where you were.
Did I speak about this ad?
No.
Was I still on when I spoke about this ad?
Nope.
Okay, let me see. It looks like it's. I'm gonna skip past this. Okay, let me just finish it. I mean, God have mercy. I know I read this part, right? Yeah, I did read that part.
Yep.
All right. Did I read about this Hillary Clinton?
Yep. You did.
I read that part. What about this right here? Yes, the stakes are high, but our democracy will survive this election.
I tell you that was
while
where
her sex played less of an obvious role. Okay, thank you. So right here she says it says opinion. Yes, the stakes are high, but our democracy will survive this election. She says while Harris' sex played less of an obvious role in her campaign, the undercurrents were still there. The Harris campaign and her acolytes angered a lot of women, and rightfully so, when they began actively talking down to conservative women in final days of the campaign. Again, this is what this the author of this opinion article wrote. For instance, an ad narrated by actress Julia Roberts portrayed two white women who had to secretly vote for Harris so that they wouldn't upset their husbands.
I saw that.
It says,
I saw that ad.
You saw this?
I saw the ad.
In the one place this is what the ad says. They're saying, in the one place in America where women still have their right to choose, you can vote any way you want, and no one will ever know. Roberts says in the ad. The end, one husband asked his wife, "Did you make the right choice?" She responds, "Sure did, honey." Then the author of this article says, talk about insulting. But that's how Democrats and the media have consistently portrayed conservative women, as if they are living in some sort of Handmaid's Tale nightmare where they have to lie to their husbands to vote how they wish. And this is what I was saying. And this is what I'm saying. They voted their interests. We're still putting up this mythology that they voted because they're afraid. Again, as I told you earlier, they're voting for the further empowerment of their sons and the protection of their daughters by their powerful sons. Ahead of the election, billionaire investor Harris supporter Mark Cuban said this: "I really think women are going to win this election for the vice president. I think they'll come out in numbers." Again, women, right? I think they'll, and again, I say women, hence white women. I think they'll not listen to their husbands. I think they're going, Queen. I don't know if you can stop because it's probably, if you can back up a bit. I can't, I don't want to check the screen. I think they're not going to listen to their husbands. I think they're going to do the right thing and vote for the vice president, Mark Cuban. Perhaps Trump haters and liberals will learn their lesson this time, that condescension isn't a winning strategy. The gender gap wasn't as big as predicted. Don't blame sexism. The article says, I wouldn't count on it though. During MSNBC's election coverage Tuesday, host Joy Reid instinct was to bash white women for not winning North Carolina for Harris. Black voters came through for Kamala Harris, Reid said. White women voters did not. whose fault is that? Much like men, women vote on a variety of issues. This is what the author of this article says, such as crime and immigration. Again, such as economy, crime, and immigration. She goes on and says, and Harris offered voters nothing to give them confidence she could handle these top concerns. I know many women who would never support Harris, given her stance against protecting women and girls' sports and privacy. Are you there, Queen? Are you there, Queen?
Mute me. Yeah.
Queen?
My mute
Okay.
buttons are funny. Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
So listen. Check. See, look what they're talking about. They're talking about a different level of protecting women. They're talking about protecting women and girls against sports and privacy. And I'll be honest with you.
That's all white movements, though. These are not black women. Black women have been playing sports forever.
And you know, yes. And go ahead, talk more about.
Yeah, black women have been playing sports.
Keep in mind what she's speaking about here.
I hear what she's speaking about, but in all
keep in mind
it's not a point.
What's she speaking? What's she?
That it's not. This not a point that really is something that black people are concerned about. These are white points. Protecting women and girls.
What's the point? Tell me.
And privacy. So what is that?
Tell me what you're talking about.
How many black women play sports? How many black people play sports? No one's ever tried to protect. This has to be a white. Protect what? Transgender? What are we protecting?
They're talking about yes. They're talking about protecting women's sports from transgender people. That's what she's talking about.
Okay. And so black people
and I'm saying from a conservative. No. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying she's saying Kamala did not look at that. She's saying people on the quote unquote left, meaning not necessarily the true left, really fought for the opposite. Transgender women being able to also play and be in sports with biological women. She is saying that Kamala, from her standpoint, did not protect women by actually protecting transgender women's right to be in the same sports categories and leagues with biological women.
I don't see Trump protecting women. I don't understand. If she's not that, who is the alternative? Is it Donald Trump? When does he protect women?
Yeah,
he is a predator.
He's
an absolute predator.
No, okay, but no. This is a point. Don't just go off.
I'm not going off. I don't understand. If Harris did not, then it does not, to me, make sense to vote for Trump. So who did you vote for? You had to vote for one of the others, because Trump is not protecting women in sports.
No, she voted for Trump. No, she voted for Trump because Trump would be more likely to speak against having transgender women in sports with biological women.
Okay, I hear her.
Conservatives, a lot of conservatives aren't for that. And I think that honestly, there is something that we need to have a more nuanced and open conversation about. I think that's part of the issue. Because I think many black people also think that way. But we go along to act like, but sometimes afraid to have that conversation. Did you hear what JT Facts just put out there?
No, I have the screen big. I have a full screen, so I don't see the comments. What did he just
JT Facts said, I hate to admit it, Trump will protect women's sports from transgender people. And I'm saying that is a conversation that in our community, because we go with more the liberal white women who are more likely to speak against that. Black, for the most part, I'll just be honest, most black women, I mean, I don't know, I haven't done a poll, but I've talked to many, just anecdotally, that black people don't, that's not, that's not a real fight for most black women that I have spoken to. They also, a lot of black women I talk to, they also have a problem with transgender women playing sports with them, or transgender women using the same restrooms as them.
I think it is a problem being a woman, but it's not a problem that I would vote for Trump for. Do you understand? I do, but I think he has more issues. That is, I think that is something that he would be very because he attacks everything. Anything different, he's going to attack. So that makes sense. It's sensical that he will protect that. But and we should protect women. I'm a woman, and I think we should be protected. But I don't think that is what women. That is our most daunting issue. Is
So,
women's sports and
well,
transgender.
I mean,
So.
well, this is what she's saying, and this is
Well,
what
I
she's
don't know
saying. I
who
have
she
to agree with
is.
this. She says, well, I'm talking, and I think Harris is saying, I'm saying what the author goes on to say. Harris
Mhm.
seemed to think if she repeated abortion rights enough, that it, along with her gender, would be sufficient to bring women to her camp. And that is the core issue that many people and her supporters, Harris and her supporters, pretty much were running on. While women overall did not turn out more for Harris than Trump, while women overall did turn out more for Harris than Trump, white women did not. 53% of white women voted for Trump, and only 45% supported Harris. That is even more support than Trump got 8 years ago.
I agree. I don't think white women would ever
given,
vote for a black woman. I just don't. We have the most problems with white women. We don't have problems more. We have problems with white men policy wise, but in jobs and everyday interaction, we have more problems with white women. And I think that they would have the most issue with black women.
I think we have to, but I think that's not necessarily accurate.
Well,
because it says
woman.
here that 50.
And I know that, and I talk to a lot of black women. It does mean something when a woman is interacting daily with white women. It does.
No, it doesn't.
Men don't interact the same way. It does.
Well, I'm telling you why it doesn't make sense. Why it doesn't mean anything? Because it's not true. Why it's not true? Because only 53% of white women voted for Trump. That means that there had to at least possibly be 40-something% likely voted for Harris. So that means that a lot of white women did also vote for Harris. But just mean the majority of white women
would not be the majority. I didn't say they would not.
No. You said you said white women would not vote for Harris.
When I'm saying the most majority, anytime that I think a black woman is present, we're not going to get the majority of support from white women. Even when we have even black women, we usually have something separate from white women all the time. Even at work, we separate from white women.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I can ever say never, because the only reason why I'm saying that is because 53% is almost half.
53 is almost half, you said?
Yeah, that means that white women voted.
Half.
No, what I'm saying is I'm saying it's close to half. So that means there's a whole lot of other white women who voted for somebody else. Yes. And I suppose that most of those votes went to Harris. So to say never, I don't know if I can go that far. I'm just saying there is still a lot of white women that don't fall within the mindset at this point that many of us or many people in the Democratic Party try to paint. That women, that 53% of white women voted for who they wanted to vote for. Let's say that. Maybe there's some that is scared of their husband, but at the end, and the other thing is, there were white women who did also show up that didn't typically vote for the Democratic Party, who did vote for them, especially older white women. But at the end of the day, there's still a lot of white women in this country who make up the majority voting population or pool of voters got her Trump elected, and we're and I think it's over. I think it was like 45% of Latino voters actually voted for Trump. I think we have to start asking these questions, and we have to start asking the questions why versus like just saying, well, they're dumb, they're this, they're that. You know, we have to ask the question, why are these people voting? Why do they believe that Trump will be a better option? Why are white women voting for Trump at 53 at a rate of 53%? Why? I think we really have to ask those questions. I'm not saying they're going to be good, that you're going to like the answer. I'm not saying it's going to be favorable. I'm saying, but if we really want to really dissect what's going on, and just, I think we have to have real dialogue and really think about these things. I know that one time I said we need to think about how other people are thinking. Somebody told me on the show that we should not consider what they think. I think we should always think about how other people think, because I think that is even a military. I think that is how you operate even when you're at war. You think about how your enemy thinks. If I were giving, it says, if I were giving advice to the next Democratic presidential candidate, it would be to knock off the. Are you still? Am I still here, Queen?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, because something came up like it did the last time. If I were giving advice to the next Democratic candidate, it would be to knock off the blatant disrespect for a clearly powerful group of voters who are perfectly capable of thinking for themselves. So that's pretty much what she said, and she's saying that, you know, Harris and the Democratic Party pretty much was pushing one issue, and it wasn't enough to get her elected.
Okay.
And I think for us, I think it's wise for us to really look at all these things, instead of like just saying, well, you know this or you know that. No, let's look at it, because we have to know what we're up against. What Eric Jackson says, white racism brings them effective results for a better material life. Yeah, you know, and I think that's a major part of it, right? And both sides of the ticket is, from my standpoint, white. But as my man Kamala says, why would I vote for white supremacy light if I can vote for white supremacy hard or full white supremacy? I think you said something, Queen. Let me unmute you. Oh, your mic isn't connected, Queen. I think I heard you just now, though. But yeah.
My mic's connected.
Yeah, okay. You were saying something then. Oh wow, it's midnight.
It's
Queen, hey, Queen, I think we should change the time.
To what, midnight?
10.
Oh Lord, we're gonna be the midnight. We're gonna
Because
be the midnight
the reason why I'm saying that is because
what y'all think?
Brother Imhotep
in the chat.
Started his show back up, and Baba Imhotep started his show back up, and they go from 9 to 10.
Excellent.
And then I'm sorry, they go from 9 to 10, and we go from 9:30
to 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but we also know that it 10. Yeah, I think we should start at 10 o'clock. And then it gives me an hour to kind of get myself together between my last session and here.
But what do people think?
The people.
I need y'all to put 10, 9. Put what y'all think in the chat. What time should we come on?
Yeah, I think we should come on 10. We also fighting against the football. And so yeah, and
football will end. But you're right.
And people tend to look for something a little later sometimes. But yeah, and it seems like the sometimes the later we get on, the more people. Not right now because we've been having all types of. We thank y'all for kind of sticking. Those of y'all who have stuck it out with us because we've been having a rough stream today. I don't know what that's all about.
This stream
I'm
has
certain.
been rough.
You know what? I'm certain it's probably about the election because lots of people are probably
that's
on
what Josh said.
Oh, that's what he said. And I'm saying particularly because they're on their Wi-Fi as well. A lot of people are streaming right. Is that what y'all was speaking about?
The Wi-Fi is hot, I think, too.
Yeah. And I could switch into my other computer, but
we're gonna solve this. We're gonna get some. We're gonna seat the signal a little more and boost it up.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen. But it looks like
so
the people have rolled with us for 2 hours. So and some I'm sure have gone in and out. We really appreciate it because we've had a rough stream tonight. But this was a good topic. I was gone for a while, but you left. You dropped some serious jewels and you had your little articles. I see you.
Well,
you was teaching today. You was in class. You had people in class tonight.
Well, I mean, we give thanks for the roughness. I had other things, but we won't go over today. We can talk about it for some time. Because but yeah, so I think nobody's responded to us, so Queen. I think 10 o'clock.
Nobody responded to the time, but do this. Why did the Dems
but
lose?
What I mean,
the Dems lost, fair tactics and no substance. Close us out from there.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
You, bro. Yeah, you. Why the Dems lost, fair tactics and no substance?
I just came with that title off the cuff. Why did the Dems lose? I think there's many reasons why they lost, but I do think that they did a horrible job. I mean, part of me is like, did Kamala run on her true values? I can't say that Kamala is not a person that. I can't say that she's not a good person. I don't know her. But I can say what I can say is if she is a good person, her values. She might not always operate with integrity.
Oh.
And what I mean by that is that her behavior is aligned with her highest values. So she might have high values, but if it's about getting elected, I think that as bad as she did, she could have just been as left as people have heard of at times. Now, is she really as left as I'm not saying she's a true leftist, but is she as left as she has presented at times in the past? And then she became more of a right-wing politician in blue. She would have been better being true to that. Some said that what Democrats have abandoned was this being populist. And Trump, from a Republican standpoint, people believe he's a conservative populist. But Kamala she did not run as a liberal or democratic populist. She was, what I've shared over the weeks, she's been more establishment. There's nothing in her messaging that truly was like populistic, I guess I'll say, if I'm saying it correctly. It was more status quo, and people could smell that. And when you're status,
let me ask you this question: don't we expect that though?
No.
How do you get so far without being status quo? They're not going to allow you to be this rebel.
I know you're going to say Trump is a white guy, but Trump is not status quo in the pure sense.
But Trump has people. She can't do
that's
what
what I'm
Trump do.
saying. So I think that she lost. Listen, she lost. So she might as well got there and lost, at least speaking her true values. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna go down on the sword, at least come out swinging.
Well, I'm
You
sure the
know?
advisors, she was going by the advice.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, if she was going, if that is in her, I don't know. I mean, I'm not giving it to her that those things she said she truly doesn't believe about what's going on in Israel and what's going on in the light status quo position she takes. She did start out. I'm saying there was times like at the very beginning that she did speak about things a little more. I'm not saying a lot more, but she definitely became a Democrat. I mean, Republican throughout this race. She became a Republican.
You said that consistently.
There were two Republicans running this race.
Oh wow.
What is like literally? She did offer up some social programs, some social programs. So she was a centrist Republican. Well, okay, she was a right-leaning Democrat. I'll give that to her.
Oh wow.
So let me say that. Let me just keep it a buck. She's a right-leaning Democrat. What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Status quo, lock them up, throw away the keys.
But how do you get to that place as a black woman without being status quo, without compromising, without conceding? She didn't always speak.
Well, she lost.
How do you get?
But that's what I'm saying. What is it about at that point? Is it about you winning, or is it about change? Like, I mean, hopefully maybe in 2 weeks she'll come back and she'll have cornrows in her hair, and she'll have fatigues on, and she'll be talking freedom with Beyonce's song, and maybe she'll be really signing up and saying I'm grassroots or something.
Did you say cornrows? I'm loving it.
I mean, that would be a dream of mine if Kamala Harris literally said, "Look, all that was BS, y'all. I was really placating to the system so I can get in there and I could have turned it upside down. I didn't get in and I couldn't turn it upside down, but I'm going to, because I know I have the influence now. I'm going to speak I'm going to talk my shitZ. I'm going to talk my talk.
You need to smoke before you do that, before you go to sleep with that dream.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying, I'm just going along with what you're saying, because other than that, she was a phony.
Listen, I never
look when you look back any of them. When you look back at this video, you're gonna see times. I know you're not gonna look at it. You're gonna see times where you truly you had the dream too, and that you very and no, I'm talking about at times you kind of.
I said I like Kamala, but I do not. I told her. I already said that Trump was going to win. I think they set this up for him.
Look, hold on. You know what? Like, you'll start talking about one thing, and then you start talking about other stuff. We ain't talk. That's not what we talking about.
That is what we talking about. That Trump won.
No, that's not what we talking about. We talking about your belief in Kamala. You were taking
up
for her.
I never really had a belief in her. I'm saying that as a black woman, she's my sister, but I never thought to vote for her. I don't like the Israel thing. I don't like the Democratic Party.
Okay, so let's look at it. Let's look at it a little bit. Let me see. What side?
Guys, 2 hours.
Well, it don't matter. You asked the question, so you about to look. What you said was, what did you have to do? Like, in other words, she has to get in there, so she has to do what she has to do to get in there.
That's what they do. They all are concession artists.
Hold on. So the implication is that she's doing this to get in there, but underneath of it, it sounds like you could possibly be thinking that she conceded in a way to forgo her true self just to get in there.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, but I'm saying
I'm saying to be a part of the crew, you have to acculturate, you have to act, they have to be comfortable with you, you have to act a certain way, you have to contort yourself. So white folks are comfortable.
okay, so
And
you
so
so
she's
you're
done that
saying
for so long that she's
okay.
very good at it.
So
And
now okay,
she's
so when you say get in there, that sounds different than
well, I didn't say get in there, I don't think.
you said get in there.
I said
So
they all have to do they
no,
all
you
have to be
said
a certain way
to get in
to
there.
be in there or to get in there. Well,
To
that
be
too.
in there, to get in there, wherever it is.
That
But
too.
what I'm saying is, I think there's a difference between get in there and literally to make it or to be successful or to like to get in there is like I can get in there, Queen. So this is what we gotta do to get in there. So we gotta do this to get in there. But when we get in there, we're gonna flip the script. But she's
Well, I
not.
don't
So in
think
other
she
words,
would
she's
ever
not gonna just
flip
get
that
in there.
script.
She's gonna try to stay in there.
Of
Because she's
course.
so in other words, you're saying to
She's a
get in there
career politician.
and stay in
What
there.
she's done. Yeah.
So that's what you mean, right? To stay in
And to
there.
stay in there, you got to
stay in
compromise.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. That makes much sense. All right, so
Yep.
closing out. All right, why the Dems lost? They lost because people are tired.
Ooh.
They lost because people are apathetic. They lost because they didn't, because it ain't got nothing to do. They raised over $1 billion.
Hmm.
But the fact is that they even made that a great thing. Like, why is it so big to black poor people that you raised over $1 billion to waste? Why is that so? Why is that so important to black folk? Well, nobody cares about that when they hurting. Nobody wants to hear about you. Like because our educated class of black people, we think that's big stuff. We like government contracts. We like all the things.
Yeah.
We like to look like we got something. We want to exchange places with the oppressors. We want to change we don't want to change the system. We want to exchange places. And I'm telling you, we literally are excited about electing someone who will run the empire, not someone who will get in there and change empire. Ain't no look. Baba said that's what I thought she was saying. The spook who sat by the door. Now we know that. Now that's my thing. If she was the spook that sat by the door, you don't think so? We like sitting at the table. That's right, Ja.
We love it there.
We like we want to sit at the table. That's what people tell me. I said, so I always tell my class, right? When I'm talking to my class, I say, look, so we have things, we have all types of programs. Like we want to sit at the table. Like the non-for-profit industrial complex is problematic for most of us because most of us don't give a goddamn about the people we serve. And most of us, once we get a piece of that little non-for-profit industrial complex, we start to jump through hoops to get more money and more money. We like to talk about the non-for-profit person, the person who runs the organization, and how much money they got, not how many people they changing. That's what we do. Like Baltimore it has a lot of non-for-profit folk in there, but they ain't changed a goddamn thing in the system. We want to talk about how much money there is in these non-for-profits, but not how many lives is changing, not how many communities is building. And then even if it is building something, it's fictitious. They taught us how to build it. We have to, so what I'm saying is, look,
you stepping on our toes out here.
I'm not the one, I'm not the one. I don't like us to do things just to say we got a seat at the table, just so I can have my purse could be a little larger, just because I see, because we have this fetish for celebrities. We have a fetish for people who have money. We have a fetish for these folk, and these people have always played us. Our own people. I talk to people all the time. Most of the people come with me with all types of propositions. I don't do most of them because it ain't about, look, bro, you can make some money. I don't care about that, bro. Like, I'm good. I done made money. Money don't make you happy. I can tell you that one. But what you want to do is be rich and famous. You ain't trying to change no lives. I mean, you might change a few people's lives, but look, So what I was going at is that I always talk to my students about see in this system, we talk about changing people, and that's what non-for-profits do. Like I say, they got showers for people. They go around in the hoods. They give you clean needle exchange. I'm not saying that this stuff is good. They got free soap for people. They give out free food to people. I'm not saying that this stuff ain't no good. But what I'm saying is, but they ain't got nothing. No, they ain't got no non-for-profit to change the system. All they got is non-for-profits to try to say we're going to try to help the heathens do better, smell better, eat more nutrition, have better education because something wrong with them. And we believe
it's never the system.
And we believe that
never the system.
Yeah, and we believe that people somehow the deficit is in the folk. Oh, so they just need better education. They need to take baths. We need to get suits for them. Like we need to get suits for them so they can go get job interviews. We need what are you talking about? Like for real? Like, oh, y'all think and then everybody's so happy. Everybody's so happy about it. Oh, yeah, we gave out 3 suits this week even. I'm not saying that like that's good.
Duh.
That's good, but we gotta do more than that. Oh yeah, see, look at us. Look, because we educated black folk. We just, oh yeah, I got suits for little homeboy. I taught him how to tie a tie. And we, oh yeah, look at the black men, the sisters. Y'all be harassing us for doing the littlest things. Oh yeah, look at him. That's what black men need to do. Tie is tie, baby. Show them how to do it, baby. We're so happy for the littlest things. Stop, family. Stop letting the system believe that we are the problem, that poor people, working people, the so-called uneducated people are the problem, when the problem is the system that creates their problem, and the system that perpetuates them is the people they teach and the people that they give non-for-profit dollars to. Last time I looked, most of these people who got non-for-profits, you want to know what kind of car they driving. That's problematic. We want to know how much, we talking about how much money that he got and she got and they got and how they feeding the people and giving them computer classes and all this and all that. Like, that's the problem. And knowing that when we out there doing that real work, that they ain't changing a goddamn thing. Most of us, when we go out there, we really think that we're doing something. We feel very frustrated because it ain't. Then we start saying, like, if I only reach one, knowing that one ain't gonna work. I reach one at a time. No, we gotta do some real reconstruction of this damn system to reach a mini, to give people a chance, possibility. All right, look.
This is your second week talking about the nonprofits. You can't be talking about the nonprofits.
I can't talk about the non-for-profits because that's what the Democrats give you. That's what the Democrats give you. That's why you got it. Look, if you want a you will be foolish not to vote blue. You will be foolish not to vote blue if you want to keep your non-for-profit money.
Oh, well, I didn't vote blue.
Huh?
I'm foolish.
My father says, in my day, he sound like he getting old now. Listen to him. In my day, we use the system. We incorporate boycott in the system. What that mean, Baba? Baba, come on up here and explain what you're saying over here, Baba. In my day, we use the system. We incorporate boycott in the system. We use the system.
I can't get on nothing. Everybody getting the internet problems tonight.
Oh, everybody got the internet issue. Okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do, family. New. Yeah, it's something major going on. And you know what, Queen? I think when I played that video, I think they kicked us out. I think it was because of that video.
You got kicked straight out. And I think you've had the best internet. I think something's going on. Josh said he's getting dirty. He's trying. Because I sent him the link. I even texted him the link.
Okay. I don't know. JT Fax is back.
I hear you. I saw and agree. He's
Yeah,
been quiet.
JT. Yeah,
feelings is hurt.
you gotta get him after election season over. I'm messing with you. What's up, JT? But yeah, man. All right, family. So look, what y'all think about us coming on at 10 since coming on 10 instead of 9? And going
to midnight
and going
we
going
might
a
as well
little
come
later.
in later.
Okay, I think it's something going on with this internet. You know, I'm thinking though, it's so many people on right now. It's people that's afraid. Family, come out the TNet. And I'm saying, I'm going to be delicate because the reality is a lot of us are afraid, and I understand that we are afraid. And I think that I would not question why people are afraid because I understand why people are afraid. Everybody campaign on fear, and that's what this country does. In fact, I used to work a little short period of time in sales. Well, I don't know, maybe not that short, but especially insurance in the insurance industry, like life insurance. And they taught us how to sell death to get the person to sign up. So the best sales tactics is to get the person to envision all the problems that may happen. I'm not saying that insurance policies can't be utilized, but what I am saying is, in order to sell it, you have to make the person visualize the most morbid things, and that is what both campaigns have been doing. But now at the end, they want to act like, well, you know what? We're going to look. If it was that bad, you should not be transferring power in an amicable way. And let me say the word again: amicable way. You should not. If you are, see, the system says, well, he can be the devil. You said this man was the devil. You said he's Hitler. You said this man was Hitler. You said this man was a fascist. And now you're going to give it back to him in an amicable way? But you said he's a felon.
They change up.
You know,
they are full of it.
You said this man is all these things. And
now
we're
going to respect him.
We're going to respect the Constitution. I mean, is there nothing in the Constitution that says the devil can't be the president?
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't say that a felon can't.
I forgot the devil's created the Constitution.
Amen. Hello.
Oh, we forgot. The devil's created the Constitution. And I don't like to speak with this inflammatory language because then people lose the reality of it. That I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm being realistic. Even in the Constitution, they cut, instead of saying enslaved people, they said others. You know, like they want to use others to soften. That's some old liberal stuff right there. Liberals love to soften enslavement. So our founding fathers, they taught liberals how to make things a little soft. They didn't say natives and slaves and enslaved and people that we are oppressed and poor. I'm sorry, that enslaved people or slaves. They want to say others.
Others.
Yes.
Okay.
So they've been slick for a long time. Well, okay. Brother Josh says selling death, that's ill. Okay, yeah. So Queen, you go ahead and close us out tonight before I keep going. So that won't keep going.
You're not gonna stop tonight. You want to row 2 hours. 2 hours and 22. Listen, I really appreciate you guys for hanging with us for sure. It looks like 10 next week. Look like we're gonna move it on up, JT. We're gonna move it up to 10 and we're gonna be the late night digital healing hour. So I think that's how we hours. So I think that's what we're gonna do. But anyway, listen, this has been a very informative conversation. The internet played with it, but we still was able to connect and kind of throw these facts at folks and listen. Let's. We're gonna see a lot of shenanigans. We're gonna see buffoonery. See a lot of stuff. But get prepared. We gotta galvanize. We gotta be community. We gotta do things different. All right, so the topic tonight, why the Dems lost, fear tactics and no substance. We up out of here.
That's the answer. Fear substance and no substance.
Become a part of
That's
it.
it.
Embrace it.
Peace, guys. We about to
Become a
out.
part of it.
Deuces.
Embrace it. When you claim your Africanness, you're gonna get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're gonna get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness,